Let me ask you a question. At what age should you have it all together? At what age should you have it all figured out? I get a lot of mostly young men on the channel, and they're from 17 to 35, 36, 39, and they lament that they're at a place in their life and they don't have it figured out, and they don't have it all together, and they wonder what's wrong with them because they don't have it figured out. They don't have it all together. Of course you don't have it all together. You're not supposed to have it all together. You're not expected to have it all together. Anybody looks at you at 26, 27, 28 years old and says, hey man, what's wrong with you? How come you don't have everything figured out? They're a fool. Knowledge and experience and wisdom takes time. Wisdom comes from experience, and experience takes time. The more experience you have, the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you can get. If you haven't lived long enough to have a broad enough portfolio of experience, then you can't expect to have knowledge and wisdom. We are told by society today, and it's inferred by movies and television programs, that by the time you're 26 or 27, you should be graduated from college, you should have a degree, you should have a good job, you should have a wife, and you should have it together. We watch these programs and they're, this movie, it's an hour and a half long, and within an hour and a half, a person goes from a goofed up teenager to someone who's just settled and got it all going on. And they get the job, they put their childhood bully in his place, they get the girl, fade to black, and we're left to imagine the rest of their life. And what we imagine is left with the last thing that we see. Man, they got it together. Of course, we don't consider the fact that if you turn the TV off and watch the news, you'll see those same actors show up in the news again and again, making stupid mistakes, and they ain't got it together. A pine tree grows and matures very fast. An oak tree grows and matures very, very slow. But which one lasts longer? And which one is stronger? Which one shelters more critters and more birds? Which one, when it's done and over and it's cut down, which one is more valuable for the lumber? People don't go out and say, I'm gonna spend extra money for some pine furniture. They want oak furniture. Nobody burst from their mother's womb aged and mature and wise. And I'm not wise. I'm not saying I'm wise. I just say that happened. That's why that happened. So, man, maybe we ought not do that. I don't know. To me, that's a kind of a shallow, easy definition of wisdom. But I'm 55 years old, and I'm just now starting to get a little bit figured out. And there will come a time you keep going, and you keep learning, and you keep growing, that one day you'll look down and the card you needed was there and it's been there all along. But that ain't gonna come for a while. And my encouragement to you is, stop being so hard on yourself. You can't even begin to think about having things figured out and having it together until you're in your 50s. Just don't even worry about it. Just don't even worry about it. You've got to have maturity. And maturity comes with time, and maturity is not something that you can gin up artificially. It's not something that you can be responsible for not being ginned up artificially. Dwayne, what I have to do? You have to live. You just have to live. You just have to live. You just have to act your age. If you're 26, Be 26. Stop trying to be 56. It's not expected, and it's a burden that you don't have to carry. My wife and I are still trying to figure stuff out. And we just take it as it comes, and we learn, and we mature, and we grow, and it takes time. But you'll not get there if you quit. Fellas, you'll not get there if you quit, if you just say, forget it. You know, I can't be the man that I wanted to be. Well, of course you're not right now. You will not be the man that you want to be until you grow into it. You have to grow into it. You've just gone through a breakup, and it's the worst thing you've ever been through. And it's a disaster of apocalyptic proportions because you haven't had the time and the experience yet to develop worse and to turn around and look at that in relation to the realities of a long life well lived. And one day you're going to try and look back and you're going to say, that really wasn't such a disaster. And in fact, that was probably the best thing ever happened to me. Some of you lost your job and you thought that job was it. And it was a good paying job, and you went 4 years of college in order to get the degree to get that job. And then you got the job, and then COVID happened, or layoffs and different stuff, and now all of a sudden you lost that job. It's the worst thing you've ever been through. And so all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, I thought my life was together, now it's in shambles at my feet. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's all right. It's all right. You're not supposed to have it together. All right, those who go to college, get out of college, get a job, and stay in that job until they retire, then retire and buy property down in Florida, that's an anomaly. That's not normal. It happens, but it's an anomaly. And most of those people, you know, they might be really good people, but they ain't got cool stories to tell.